you spoke at the end about
Mhm.
you being competitive and stuff, and you're quite the opposite, right? So when it comes to a
Service.
beautiful couple that we know, David and Ishara, who we've known from our kitchen essay, right? And then now people
And
know them
people,
as Dote Durban.
yeah,
And
yeah.
you've you've put me onto them and we've grown relationships with them. How have you seen or like you've seen the growth from ground zero, literally in running their restaurant in the back of their house, to now running one of the like what top 10 pizza places in the world from the previous.
In the world, like let's just put it
Exactly.
out there.
So tell us a little bit about their story and what you've seen and how has that impacted Durban in itself and your relationship with them.
Yeah. I mean, I could cry when I talk about these two. You know that. Like they
Yeah.
hold such a big place in my heart, such a soft spot in my heart. And it's not about, their accolades or what they've done. It's not about how amazing their food is, because it's freaking amazing. It's honestly about who they are as people. And that goes a long way.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we get along so well because intrinsically, our value sets are exactly the same.
Mm,
How we think is exactly the same. And I love that. And I think that is a word for whomever's watching this right now, whoever wants to start a company, get around like-minded people. You were never meant to run this race alone. Like God hardwired us for connection.
mm,
And they can be in a completely different industry with you and still impact you and still inspire you. And I think our growth trajectory happened at the same time because I started my company in lockdown. They
yeah.
started their home inspired restaurant, which they took straight from Italy. They went honeymoon in Italy. Not many know the story. I think if you watch their lives, you would. They went to Italy for their honeymoon, saw the home inspired Nana's restaurants, and Ishara, who's this genius freak of nature, love her so much. She's like, we're gonna start this. And
Yeah.
David, who's the helpful, supportive husband, was like, we're gonna do this, babe. And that's what they did. They literally just had a God vision, and I truly believe it was a God dream placed on their hearts whilst they were on honeymoon, brought the concept to South Africa. I hear about it through the grapevine, hear that there's a fine dining restaurant in Chatsworth, because I'm from Chatsworth, which is a small Indian community in Durban, for those who don't know. And I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah.
So, being living in Cape Town as well and being around my sisters, etc., I was always privy to, um, eating at the best restaurants
Yeah.
around the world. Never did I once think that it would be in my backyard. So I'm like, I need to go to this place. I go there and I taste their food. I remember it was the first day Brent and I went to their blind food tasting
Oh, yeah.
situation that they used to have. And I was just like, I need them as clients.
Yeah.
And I will not, it's very hard for me to reach out to people and be like, hey, can I pitch you? It's just not within my nature. I was just like, I need them. I want them. But what started off as a business relationship turned into like literally one of the best friends we have
Yeah.
today.
Wow.
Um, and just seeing their value systems, just seeing their growth trajectory over years, it's second to none. And you know what I spoke about in the beginning when I said people, purpose, profit. I think that is what set them apart from everybody else, is that at the root and the heart of who they are is their God-given purpose.
Yes.
And then it trickles onto their staff and the people that encounter them. Every person that leaves Dode leaves impacted. I've seen people cry in the restaurant. I've seen people, celebrate huge milestones there because you feel the warmth, you feel the love, you feel the Christ energy when you're around them. And lastly, they focus on profit. And exactly that, when you're
100%.
not chasing money, money chases you,
Yeah.
And then they went on to opening up two restaurants now, a third coming soon. Not going to say where, when, and how. And going on to, make a name for themselves across the nations
Yeah.
globally.
Insane.
And again, it's so hilarious because our growth trajectory, the way we are as people, it's exactly the same.
Mm.
Um, and she always tells me, she's like, Bianca, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. Like,
Mm.
there's nothing that you can't achieve with God because, again, it's less about us and more about Him
No.
and what we can do, what He can do in and through us, as opposed to what we can do in this world.
Yeah.
And even when I started working with global companies, she's like, it's almost as if they already expected it. And that's such a beautiful thing to have in friends where they're like, oh, you achieved that. I knew you were going to do it.
Yes.
Like that level of belief system actually does something for your own soul and your
Yeah.
own heart and your own mind. And I just love them so much, dude.
Yeah. They
Brent is also like, he's so inspired by them. And
hmm,
yeah, we're just so grateful to have them in our lives.
no, like from my experience with them of like going into a home restaurant, like, hey Jerry, like come check out this place, check out this thing, let's check them out, do some photos for them, do some content, to then
Yeah.
them opening their own restaurant and like they literally had a small space and like at Dode, where they are now in
Mm,
Florida Road. And like
And they expanded and
uh,
expanded
and
and
they keep
expanded.
expanding. They get literally
Yeah.
like the next building next door, and it feels like they get all road at this point.
Yeah. And do you know what's so beautiful is that they've had so many people try and say, let us franchise. Okay, well, what is that?
Uh,
Um,
Mac product.
Celebrations. It's
Yes.
it's yeah. So they had so many people come to them and say, let us expand, let us do this, let us do that. But again, if it doesn't align with their value
Yeah,
system,
for
immediately no. They
sure.
will never chase the money, they'll never chase the profit, they'll always chase impact
Yes.
and leaving an impression. And I think that's what created that level of sustainable success.
Yeah, I think like even my experience with them within just being at the Dode or being around them, it's they very much people focused. Like even with their staff, like I was there and they're like they literally
Absolutely.
have so good relationships with their staff, and then they look to like
Absolutely.
pull them and upskill them and like they want to work on
Yeah,
something of a vision, we're gonna build that with you. And I'm like, that's
exactly that.
how do you manage your business plus managing that is insane, but they do it so well. And that's what
Yeah.
they've
And
got.
it goes back to human capital.
Yes.
They know if we sort of build and grow and establish the people that help make the business run, that's a recipe for success in and of itself.
Mhm.
I've seen people that were like not even able to make coffee and become baristas and then become general managers and just become shit. It's just so beautiful to watch, honestly.